Hello there, welcome back to Eternal. I hope your day's going well. I'm your Grand Admiral, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Star Wars Republic Commando. Oh my gosh, this was such a difficult game. I would be topping up and back to every, seconds. This was a tough game. Really enjoyable though. So I'm going to show you some snippets of the game, ones where I'm winning, just to say. I played this on the normal mode, so it was quite difficult. I mean, I did think at some point, I should have gone with the easy mode, but oh well. I did manage to complete the game. It took me a while, and do tell me in the comments if you want to see an actual full in-depth review and play of the game. I walk through it. I can't guarantee it will be, good, but it might have, we'll get through it, but it just might have a lot of me going down to these dang clankers. But yeah, this game was really enjoyable, and so I'm going to talk to you about, some of the things about it, some of the tactics, show you some of the gameplay, and yeah, enjoy. So the game revolves around Delta Squad, 4 commandos, Boss, Scorch, Sev, and Fixer. Each have their own different positions and, jobs. You play as Boss, the leader of the squad, and at the moment you can see that I'm talking about Fixer, he's the green one, and the squad slicer, which means he's main data handler, Scorch, who likes to blow things up, and Sev, who's a great sniper. Now, as I said, this game was difficult, and B2 battle droids, or SBPs as they like to call them, were just horrible. Now, this is a first-person game, which really makes it feel so much more immersive and so much cooler. Now, you start on Geonosis, your first mission, it's the Battle of Geonosis, and, you start off alone, you're trying to regroup with the squad, and as you're learning through it, it does feel really difficult. But what I found was, as I progressed through the game, I got used to the squad mechanics, and I found it really feel so much slicker, a lot smoother, everything felt like it was going right. And I say that when I mean, that's after a lot, and I went down to droids quite a few times. Mainly I found it a lot easier once we got to Kashyyyk and near the end of the Prosecutor mission, and I will show you the gameplay of that. Trust me, the Prosecutor, that was just so difficult. I mean, I cannot stress to you enough, those scavenger droids were absolutely horrible. In this game, you take on B1 battle droids, B2s, Geonosian broods, Trandoshan, Trando mercs, a heavy Trandoshan, I think they call it. I think that's what they call it. You take on some scavenger droids, which were absolutely horrible, and you take on a few spider droids and Magna Guards. Now, you mainly play as a squad, but in various points of the game you split up, especially at the start of the Prosecutor, you split up and you're on your own, you're taking on droids, Trandos, really difficult actually, and it definitely felt difficult. For me, the Prosecutor mission, that was just the most difficult bit. I spent quite a bit of time on there. The weapons you use are the DC-17M, that's your main blaster. You also got grenades, ECDs, / also known as EMPs, which are kind of like droid poppers, as I like to call them, and quite a few clones I like to call them, but they're the electric ones. Normal grenades, I think they've got flashbangs, which are just ones that when they explode, they create a flash, which can be really useful to cover and blind your opponents. And I think they've got a gas grenade. I'm not sure, because I only found out really at the end that you could switch through the grenades, which if I knew earlier, it would have been way helpful. But aside from that, you also use a anti-armor attachment. That's what it's called, yeah. Anti-armor attachment to your DC-15M, which kind of blows up grenades. It shoots grenades like a grenade launcher. If you ever played the game Nova 3, really good game. Don't know if it works anymore, but it's similar to the grenade launcher in that. You also pick up a few weapons on the way, Trando ones, like a shotgun, which kind of feels quite cool. Works really well, actually. They've also got a minigun, which that's fun to use. Takes forever to reload though, so I don't recommend it always, but that's quite good actually. and rocket launcher. You also have a sniper rifle, which does quite a lot of damage, and I really do recommend against super battle droids, which I cannot stress to you enough just how horrible those things are. They are just horrible.
You hit the
I
tower.
knew the start
it's
they would
hilarious.
be a bit annoying, but
There we
especially
go.
when you face one,
No problem for me.
you just have to face it to
Love
actually
it.
know really what I mean.
Minigun.
I mean, these things,
95. This feels like
you
something
could
out of
spend
Doom.
a ton of time. You could run out of all your ammo in your DC, the 17M, and still need to be taking them
Okay.
out. So
So many of them in
stabbing
here.
them would
Okay,
work
let's
quite
chuck a
well.
grenade there.
Definitely the anti-armor attachment. I would recommend
Search and
that.
destroy.
As you
Let's
progress
go.
through the game, it will feel
The
a lot
order's out
easier.
there.
At the start, it feels difficult because you don't necessarily have the anti-armor.
Ah, Scorch
and
is down already.
Grenades are all right against them, but they have this random shielding thing. But really, B2 battle droids, horrible. The Brood, Geonosians, not so fun either. And definitely when you're on the Prosecutor, when you first take on the Trandos, you might find it a little bit difficult. So, heads up. I mean, I'm hoping that I'm telling you guys a bit of a review of the game and a bit of a heads up. This can be quite difficult.
Much less of a
Now,
challenge
the
than
game
they used
itself
to
is
be.
actually quite different to normal Star Wars
Not like
games.
we have
They
better
made it
weapons
back
or
in
anything like that,
2005
though.
as a bit of a more 15, grittier Star Wars one. And it didn't actually sell very well, but they remastered it, I think in 2020 for PS4 and Nintendo. So that's why I decided to play it, because, you know, A, it's a Star Wars game, I love Star Wars, and B, I thought it'd be quite fun. It was, when I wasn't being smashed by droids and Trandos. But, you know, other than that, great game. But you also take on the Spider Droid. As you can see, these things took forever. And you actually have to take on one when it's just you and Scorch. And that's difficult. You take on two, and that is really, really quite difficult. I cannot stress to you enough the amount of times that, you know, I was taken out by droids. This game is quite difficult, and I don't know if anyone's beaten this on hard mode. If you have, please tell me, and please tell me how you did it. This next clip is the Kashiro Bridge. I didn't film much of it because I found this really difficult. I found Kashyyyk actually really easy because I found it a lot more slicker. I knew what I was doing. I knew the squad commands. Until this point where I then, you know, got absolutely smashed. These turrets that you sometimes see, they're really critical. If you can take one, it's really helpful. And my advice for this bridge is you go in the turret, okay? I started off by getting them in the turret, then I went in it, then I went out to kind of assist. I used the anti-armor attachment. If you're going to use a weapon, use that. Either you be in the turret or use the anti-armor attachment, and make sure you take out... I found the right droid dispenser. I took out that one first. Whilst covering whoever, I made sure that I placed them, one in the anti-armor bit, and I think I put one in the sniper. And that really did work after about 20-something tries. Yeah, this bridge was really difficult. Other than that, Kashyyyk definitely felt really slick, and even though this game was made back in 2005, I cannot stress enough, the graphics look great actually, and I really, really cannot say just how much the music design just sounded absolutely brilliant. And Tamura Morrison voicing the clones, I mean, that was a great callback. Really, really good choice, I think. It definitely made it feel quite fun. But yeah, for a 2005 game, it runs really well, and it definitely feels fun. It feels nice to play. It's quite slick and everything. Once you get your head around all the squad commands, the game will run, and it will feel a lot easier. You'll actually feel like you're winning a lot until you take on that bridge, or, you know, a Spider Droid, or however many Super Battle Droids, or even Magna Guards when they show up. I actually didn't find them too difficult. When you take on the first, I think, two on Kashyyyk, because they come at once, one at a time, that feels difficult. But when you eventually have to take on three, I'll talk to you a little bit of advice about that when I show that clip. But, yeah. So, other things that this game also has is the squad commands, as I said. You can position Sev, Scorch, and Fixer in different places. One of them, like sniping, or, you know, you can have them throwing grenades using the anti-armor attachment. I believe that's one of them. It's just called anti-armor position. And it definitely feels quite good. Once you, as I said, as soon as you understand and you get used to it and you realise just how useful these squad commands are, you'll find the game a lot easier. and it will just feel like more you're winning, because you can focus them on one target, as I quickly showed you there, how I made them focus on that B2 battle droid, because they take forever. And here's the Magna Guard clip. So this one, basically what I did was I put one of them, I think it was Scorch, where there was the anti-armor position, and then I myself, so I think it was, yeah, 7 Fixer, all took turrets, and this made it feel really easy to take out those Magna Guards, and that's why it looked really easy. I mean, that was a different attempt. Yeah. That one, I decided I'd just place 2 people in the turrets because I thought it might have been a bit easier, because it didn't always go as well, and it took a bit of time, so I eventually decided I'd go out of the turret and attack the Magna Guards with the DC-17M, which might have been a bad idea, probably should have gone with something else, but oh well. And yeah, this is the final bit where you end up taking out the capital ship on Kashyyyk, and it really does take you through the whole Clone Wars, and it really is quite fun. You really get a sense of brotherhood with these guys, and I actually found, you know, you really do feel part of the squad, and the main kicker is at the end, and I won't spoil too much, but I do have that clip in here, so if you don't want any spoilers of what happens, look away now, like 3 seconds ago, just look away right now, basically. But if you're still watching, I mean, you probably know this bit made me feel actually quite sad. I can't stress you enough. It's like, even though I kind of knew a bit, because whenever I play a game, I do a bit of research on it to see what tips I can get before I play it. But this one, I did my research and still found it really difficult. And this bit, even though I kind of knew what would happen, still, you do feel sad, because you really get a sense of the brotherhood, and you really get used to it, and you really connect with these characters, which, to me, makes me feel just, you know, makes the experience feel so much better. It's in first person, which feels great. You see through the visor, and then you've got this sense of brotherhood, and it really feels great. You really connect with these boys. Other than that, you know, the Yoda cameo was epic, and I really enjoyed this game, and I would really recommend it. If you haven't played it, pick it up, it's great. Either on the Nintendo Switch or the PS4. I mean, it is such a good game, and I would really recommend it. But other than that, guys, let me know down in the comments if you've played this game, and if you've been it on the hard mode. I'd love to know that. It's not impossible to beat it on the hard mode. But other than that, guys, I hope you have a great day, and to all of you squad leads, and all of you aboard the Eternal, may the Force be with you.